Hey, welcome everyone. We're here for another episode of Regular Guy Barbecue, brought to you by CSC Entertainment, huh? Yeah, jackets and everything, right? All right. Well, listen, guys. You all know that part of the reason that we do this channel is we try to get people to come out of their comfort zones just a little bit. Maybe try to do things they haven't done before. Now, we've done brats and burgers and briskets, oh my. Lots of other things that we have done. But one of the things that we haven't done is what we're going to do today. And I don't know what to call this because it's got a little bit of a component to a jambalaya. It's got a little bit of a component of a shrimp boil. It's got a little bit of a component of witch doctors and voodoo, who knows. But what we're going to do today is we're going to make our version of a Cajun dish. And what we're going to have in it is we're going to have some andouille sausage, some shrimps. Now, one thing about shrimp I want to show you guys is if you look at this package closely, you see where it's got 31/40. And what these numbers mean is this means how many shrimp are going to come to a pound on average. It's going to be between 31 and 40. Now, these packages are about a pound. And if you look, they're, well, it's going to be hard to see, but you'll see them later. They're a fairly good size shrimp. You get some of the smaller ones like using cocktail things or maybe some of them little popcorn shrimp guys, they're going to be more like in the 60 to 80 range per pound. We wanted something a little bit bigger, something a little more bite. Now these are already deveined, they're already shelled, they're just ready to be cooked. We've also got some potatoes, some sweet corn, a little bit of green onion. My favorite ingredient we're going to be using today, lemongrass.
Took forever to find it.
It was hard to find, especially nowadays with everybody doing their cannings and whatnot. Hard to find lemongrass. We did find some at a local Asian market. Really good price on it. Can't wait to use it. And then, of course, with seafood, you use lemons, and we've got some butter to make things go. Now, under normal conditions, you're going to do a shrimp boil, and you're going to throw everything in one pot, add your seasonings, all your potatoes and your corns and everything are going to go all in one pot. I just don't want to do it that way. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I got goofy potatoes, which, by the way, came from our family farm. Great to have those. I just want to do things a little bit different, a little bit my way, a little bit twisted. Yeah, I'm nuts. Anyway, so we're going to try things a little bit differently. So get yourself strapped in for this video. It's going to be fantastic. All right, gang. So we've got King Kong out, our 22-inch Weber kettle grill, and we've got it set up with the lump coal, the cowboy wood, if you want to call it that. We're going to do some offset cooking to start this off. You can see down in there, maybe you can't. Here, let me get this lid out of the way so you can see a little bit. There we go. Look at that vision. Woo! We got our basket set up with lump coal. You don't need to use a basket. Just pile it up in the corner, whatever you want to do. And we're going to be doing our andouille sausage first. Now we're going to offset cook this. You guys know about that, so we don't have to go into too much detail there. If you don't know what's going on with that, we've got a lot of other videos out there. You can check those out, and they'll show you exactly what we mean. Now we set that up. So there's our andouille sausage set up away from the heat. We're going to be using hickory for our smoke flavor today. We're going to be adding a couple of chunks of hickory wood just to give us that extra smoky flavor. We'll close that up and keep that in there. And as that burns on, we're going to probably look at about a 2 to 3 hour smoke on the andouille sausage just to make sure we get that good barbecue flavored in there. All right, so we'll come back and show you when that's done, and when we move on to the next step of taking care of some of our other ingredients in this cook today. So just a couple of maintenance things as we're going along today making our dish. Normally in a quote-unquote shrimp boil, you're going to boil your potatoes right along with your shrimp, or if you're using crayfish or you're using corn on the cobs or whatever you're going to be using. If you look closely at these potatoes, you can see there's quite a wide variety of sizes. We've already washed them and they're ready to get cut up. The reason we're going to do this differently than just throwing them in all in one pot and making the one boil out of it is because of the size difference. We're going to cut them up into equal sizes so we can get a more uniform cook, and so they're more apt and ready to be served. All right. One other thing we're going to do for our maintenance spot here and during the video is our andouille sausage has been on the smoker for about an hour, and we're around about 275 to 280 degrees. And all we're going to do here now is, since we're about halfway through the cook, you can see everything's coming along real nicely, is we're just going to turn these around. And again, for the most part, oh, you can see it's got some nice color to it, huh?
It's splitting.
Yeah, they are. That's okay. We're okay with that. We're doing this just so they get a little bit more even cook, because all of our heat's over here, no heat over in the middle. The heat does transfer, but it'll still give us an even cook. All right, so just a little maintenance there, no big deal. Everything's coming along. We're gonna prep these, get them ready to cook. They'll be ready shortly, and we'll move on to our next step. All right, we're back, guys. So it's been really close to 2 hours that we've had our sausages, our andouille sausages on our smoker, or grill. Smoking. So what we're going to do, we're going to take them out. Take a look at that.
Oh, they're dark.
They're dark, aren't they? Isn't that nice? Yeah, they look really good, don't they? So we smoked them. We got them all done up and nice and juicy like, and the mascots are going nuts. They can smell the meat. So we're just going to pull them off, and we're going to let them rest for just a minute so we don't burn our hands when we cut them. Because I don't like burning my hands. It doesn't feel good. Okay, so here's our sausages. Now, we're going to leave these in a little bit bigger pieces. You know, normally, like if you're going to do sandwiches or put it in like a hot dish or something, you're going to cut them down, you know, probably pretty small, less than a ½ inch. We're going to cut one off there. Look at that.
Look at that color.
Look at that color in there. Isn't that nice? So the important part here now is for my wonderful camera person to taste test. She likes taste testing.
Oh.
Hot.
There you go.
Is it all right?
Nice
It's
bite
right?
to the
Yeah. That's got a little bit of flavor to it, a little bit of snap to the skin. Yeah. So I'm going to cut them about this big, you know, maybe 1.5 inches or so. And I'm going to do that. Part of the reason I want to do it that way is when you're doing things like this.
It's got a little spicy aftertaste.
Yeah, it's got a little spice to it. That's andouille, you know. So we're gonna, you know, I'm gonna cut them smaller. I'm gonna cut them about
mascots. Can you not trip
half
me?
this size. The reasoning I'm trying to go a little bit bigger with these, maybe than I normally would for like a hot dish or something.
The shrimp size.
Is I'm trying to match or make things a little bit bigger. They're still bite size, but they're gonna be bigger, so you can actually pick them up with a fork or your fingers if you want. And a true shrimp boil type of thing, I would probably leave them more in probably the 2 to 3 inch range. You know, of course I gotta try one of these because that was hot.
Nice spice of it.
Very nice. Very nice. That's a good andouille sausage. Now, you guys that are real adventurous out there, you could probably make your own sausages and spice them whatever you want. I bought stuff off the shelf.
Don't want to have 12-hour cooks every time.
No, I can't do that. But these are really good. Really good sausage. So we're going to cut these up like we have been here. Get them, you know, set aside. And they're going to be waiting for a little while to get finished off when we do the last step of our cook today. But for now, they're fantastic. Yeah. You guys like that stuff? Can you smell it? If you can't smell it, you better find another channel. Oh, I can't wait for this. Again, this is my first time. I made a lot of sausage over the years and whatnot, but this is something new for me, and I'm really looking forward to this. So we're going to put this aside. Then we're going to reconfigure our grill, and we'll show you the next step. All right? All right, so sausage is all cut up, ready to go. We moved on to our next couple of steps here. We got our hot plate going with a boiler, and we've added some lemongrass, the stalks that we didn't cut up for our dish. We're just infusing a little flavor in there and getting ready to boil our corn. Now over here at the grill, you can see that we've taken the basket out and reconfigured our charcoal, added a little bit more so we can get more of a direct heat, because it's time to move on to the taters. Ready for taters? Well, since we're doing a big dish, we're going to use El Kabong. You guys remember this thing if you've watched some of our other videos?
Pizza video.
The giant pizza in this thing, yeah. Well, we're going to get her on here and we're going to get her heated up, because we're going to move on to our potatoes.
What are you monkeying with over there?
I'll just tighten the handle up a little bit. So this thing will heat up pretty fast. Again, this is a 14 gauge, not a true cast iron, but it's a high carbon steel, and we treat it similarly to cast iron.
She needs to drown in oil.
No, we're not going to do that. Well, we've got, this is our avocado oil, and we've talked about that in the past, about how that's a little better for the old ticker and a little bit higher smoke point, so that's what we use. We use avocado. Olive oil works great. If you want to use canola oil and whatever that other stuff is that you want to use, this is what we've become accustomed to, and we really enjoy that. Now, the other thing I want to do for these is I want to put some butter in. And again, potatoes, butter, yeah, good combination. Maybe not the best for your heart, but this is real butter, none of that margarine crap, no salt added. You know, this is what we use when we do this. We're going to throw a whole stick in. Why? Because it's a lot easier than putting half a stick in and trying to put half away. Right? Right. Check that butter out. There goes our butter. Yeah. We'll get that thing melting in there real nicely. That'll help with our avocado oil, give us a little more flavor and give us a little more fat to cook in. Should get the machete out to cut this, but that's okay. Okay.
This thing's a pain in the butt to clean.
Yeah, it can be sometimes. But, you know, sometimes the extra efforts are worth it when they're good, right? Yeah. So there's our butter. We're going to get that cooking down. Now, we showed you the potatoes before we cut them. And we've cut them down into this type of size right here. They're, you know, an inch square or so, somewhere in that neighborhood. They're going to cook a little faster. They're going to be a little bit more even to cook. So that's the way we're going to do those.
Ooh, it can really smell that lemongrass.
Yeah, I tell you, that lemongrass is really giving off some flavor, isn't it? Yeah, lemongrass, now, if you're not familiar with lemongrass, it's got a lot of flavor and it literally tastes like lemon. Unfortunately, the fiber to it tastes like grass. So it's got a little bit of a chew, a little bit of a fiber to it. A lot of people don't necessarily like the texture of it. That's okay. Which is why we're using the big pieces for our corn, and then we'll just yank those out when they're done.
Pretty tough to cut.
It is tough to cut, yep. So we're going to throw all our potatoes in. There's, you know, that's got to be probably in the 3-pound neighborhood of potatoes. We don't measure. We don't worry about that.
We don't measure around these parts.
We don't measure, no, nothing. Since I can't count, I don't measure. Makes it easier, right? So there's the potatoes. Now, while I don't want to make everything taste like everything else, I want my potatoes to taste like potatoes. I want my shrimps to taste like shrimps. I want my sausages to taste like sausages. We are still going to use our Cajun blend that we made in another video. And we're going to season these potatoes with it. Because although we don't want them to taste exactly like everything else, we do want to tie the flavors in so they are similar. So they go well together. The rest of this is going to be pretty self-explanatory. You guys know how to fry potatoes in a pan. This is probably going to take in the neighborhood of 15 minutes or so, depending on how well our heat holds up on the charcoal. You use your best judgment. Maybe add a little more seasoning if it needs it when they get close to done. Otherwise, just cook them, you know. So we're going to give that, it's like I said, we'll come back, you know, 15 minutes or so in, and these things will probably be done or very close to it. We'll taste test them because we're going to make sure that they taste right, make sure that they're done, and then we're going to pull them and move on to our next step. But just before we go off of this segment, again, I just want to point out that this water is starting to get steamy, so it's getting pretty warm. So we'll have our
Gonna go in there?
the corn on the cob is going to go in there. We've got about 2 dozen chunks of corn on the cob, not full cobs. You've seen us do full cob in the past. We did like the sweet corn, and then we peeled them, all that. These are pre-cut, they're frozen. I'm lazy today. I don't want to do all that extra work. And a lot of our corn on the cob that we can get fresh in the area has gone out of season now because it's getting, you know, it's in October. So we don't have that outlet, that supply as we would have other times of the year, more in the July to September range. So, we'll be back. We'll show you how the corn on the cob goes in. We'll show you the finished product on the potatoes and move on from there. So, potatoes have been in, you know, sort of 5 minutes in that area. You can see they're starting to get a little bit of color. Seasonings are spreading out nicely. They're frying up real good. So we're good to go on those. We're going to give them a little more time. I'm probably going to throw the lid on them too, just to trap some of the heat in, because it is a little chilly out today. So we'll get them cooking nicely. In the meantime, we're going to start our corn on the cob. As you can see, our water is just starting to boil. We're ready to go. I don't know if I'm going to get them all in there at once. That's okay, because we've got, again, I'm being lazy. These are partly frozen still, so yeah, we just bought frozen ones. And there's really nothing to this. I'm sure you guys have all boiled corn on the cob before. Not a big problem. Not a hard thing to do. Our corn on the cob. We're going to let that do its thing. We'll probably rotate those around as that goes on. Again, we're not going to salt the water because we're trying to not salt anything.
Don't want to assault anybody.
No assaulting allowed in this state. Yes, no. We're going to let them go. Again, they're a little frozen, so they're probably going to take 15-20 minutes to boil them off to make them done. We'll pull them out, let them rest for a little bit as we finish off the last parts of this dish, and then they're going to get added into the mix at the end. Yeah, look at those potatoes. Those are nice. And remember these, if you know somebody that's got a little farm, like we have a family farm out west of here, and we went out and visited some family members that live in that area. But they grow a lot of veggies out there. If you got somebody that's nearby you, it's got a little hobby farm, maybe you got a garden in the backyard, you can grow your own stuffs. Fantastic. If you can't, the store sells great potatoes.
They gave us some pumpkin and squash too.
Yeah, we cleaned up, didn't we? We got pumpkins, we got squash, we got the potatoes, we got canned salsa, we got canned chili, we got all kinds of good things. Those folks out there really do a lot of cooking, a lot of canning and things, and they keep us well stocked so we can make dishes like this for you guys, so you can see what's going on. All right, so we'll get on out of here, get this stuff done up. We'll show you what they look like when they're done. And when the potatoes are done, it's going to be time to cook the shrimp. Now, before I go though, I do want to give you one disclaimer on cooking shrimp. Because I haven't cooked shrimp in almost 30 years. Part of the reason why I don't eat seafood. I've tried everything you can imagine under the sun in different countries, different restaurants, different parts of this country. I just cannot eat seafood. But my wife loves seafood. My mom loves seafood. I just see food.
I'm not a seafood person either.
Daughter and I aren't seafood eaters, but you know we cook to please everyone. And the nice thing about a dish like this is maybe you don't like the sausage. Maybe you like the shrimp instead. Maybe you're vegetarian. Well, we've got two kinds of veggies in there that you can eat. You know, you can make this how you want to make it. You can add the different things that you want to add. I know if you're like from the east or from the south, maybe crayfish is a little more abundant for you.
Whatever boats your float.
Boats your floats. Usually water. Floats my boat. Oh, yeah. So, we'll finish this stuff up and get back to you, okay? So we're back. Potatoes have got, 15-20 minutes on them. We did taste test them. They are done. They're not quite done to my liking, but we're going to be recooking them in a little bit. So we're going to take them off. We did add another dash of seasoning to it just to give it a little more flavor. But we're going to pull them off. You can see all that nice flavoring is on there. We got some nice color from our seasoning. They're cooked up nicely. That's a lot of potatoes. Man, we cook too much stuff.
Oh, I can really smell that
You guys think I go overboard? Leave a comment below that says you're nuts.
I agree he is.
Yeah, that's all right.
You missed one.
I missed one? No, we can't have that. You get over there with your friends. So we're going to get them out of the way. And I did also notice that our temperature is starting to drop on our grill rather significantly. So for our next step, we're going to have to add a little more fuel to the fire to make sure we got enough to cook the next step. And if you look over to the side here, you'll see that our corn on the cob is cooking nicely. That should be just about done. We're going to give that about another 3 to 5 minutes to make sure that those are cooked properly. And we'll show you them in just a minute. In the meantime, we're going to pull El Kabong out of the way. Oof. And you can see our charcoal, our lump coal is getting down there pretty low. So we're going to take the grill off and we're going to add a little bit more. Just because we need a pretty good temperature to cook our shrimp.
Gotta cook them quick.
Gotta cook them quick. Well, you don't have to, but they get dry and icky. So I'm told. So we're just going to dump a little bit more, put our lump coal in there. Just bring the heat up a little bit. There we go. It won't take long. And we've also got our last step where we've got to cook everything together. So we want to make sure we have enough fuel to do that. So we'll just stack a little bit more up in there, and that should get us through. Lump coal is a little bit different than cooking with the regular charcoal. It's a little hit and miss. I like it because I think it's got better flavor, and I think it's better for the environment overall. But to each their own. I do use regular charcoal as well. Okay, so back with El Kabong, our 20-inch skillet. It weighs an astronomical amount. We're gonna let that heat up for just a minute. I'm gonna grab the last of our ingredients for this last step here. Okay guys, so we're getting ready to do our last individual step in today's cook, and that's our shrimp. Now we've added the charcoal, as you saw, to try to bring our temperature up a little bit. And we're gonna throw in another whole stick of butter. Holy cow, you use way too much butter. Yep, you're right, I do. But I want flavor. And because I skip things like the salt and some of the other things that aren't quite as good for me.
You get the salt from the butter.
Yeah, well there's no salt in this butter. This is unsalted.
Oh.
So we, they do say that natural dairy fats are supposed to be good for you. I don't know. We got a stick of butter we're throwing in. We'll probably throw in, I think we'll just leave it as that. Now, we thawed these shrimp out, and as I said before, these are 31 to 40 per pound, and each bag is a pound, so we're going to have between, according to their numbers, 62 and 80 shrimp. I don't know how many. It's all right. Whatever we got, we got. We're just going to make them taste good, that's all. So we're going to get our butter melted down a little bit there. Give us a nice bath to cook these in a little bit. We don't want to boil them per se, but we want to have some juice in the bottom so they don't stick, and so they cook nicely. Now these are uncooked shrimp. If you're more comfortable using cooked shrimp, which I had kind of thought about doing because, again, it's been a long time since I've cooked shrimp. Long time. We cook you a long time. You can do that. Food safety might tell you that's a good idea, and I don't disagree. You got to do what's easiest and best for you. I'm not going to sit here and criticize anybody if they use pre-cooked shrimp. That's all right.
You do you.
You do you. Me, 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 you. I always saying that before. All right, so there's our butter. That's going to melt down pretty quickly. And we're going to throw our shrimp in. Oh, there's a lot of shrimp.
Not for me, Chief.
None for me either. There they go. Look at all them shrimps. So now you notice, again, these are uncooked. So you're going to notice that these guys are gray. Grayish, right? So what we're going to look for is, if you look at the pre-cooked shrimp that are in the store that you can buy, or if you go to the restaurant and you get shrimp on your plate, you get those shrimp cocktail guys, or whatever you got going on, shrimp, you're going to see that they're sort of a pink, orangish pink color. And that's kind of what we're going to be looking for when it comes to these. Okay, that orangish pink color, that's what we're going to be looking for. And I'm estimating, again, the temperature is varying because it's kind of cool out today. So it's a little hard to judge exactly. But I'm going to say these are probably going to be about a 5-minute cook, give or take a little. So there's our shrimp spread out. Our butter is still melting down nicely. Our heat should be coming up because we've added some fuel to the fire. And one other thing I'm going to add to this.
That one's getting pink already.
Yeah, see, it don't take too long to cook shrimp. Okay, we're going to add some lemon juice. Fresh squeezed lemon. And I like to add lemon to seafood dishes, even though I don't cook them very often and I never eat them. I know that lemon goes good with seafood, which is why we're using lemongrass in our dish, which we talked about earlier when we cut it up. So we've added our lemon juice. We've added a whole lemon to this, and we're going to let these cook for probably about 5 minutes, give or take a little. And again, as you can see, this one's kind of starting to turn color already, and that's a good thing. We'll give them about 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes on each side, flip them over, and we'll show you what they look like when they're about done. So you can see our corn has been shut off, the boiling has stopped, and that corn looks pretty good. Alright, so we're going to it's real simple. You boil corn for 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is that you do. And we're just going to take it out and...
Smells very aromatic.
Yeah, that lemongrass really made a huge difference in the way this corn smells. Pretty incredible, isn't
Hopefully
it?
the taste will be super
I think the taste will be phenomenal. I think it's going to be out of this world. Yeah? You want to try one?
Not right now.
Oh, you're going to wait? Okay.
I got to hold the camera.
This is one of the things where she doesn't want to taste test because we're going to save that for later.
No, I would, but I got to hold the camera.
I get you. I'm just teasing you. It's all good. All right. Come on, corn.
No, the water even weird.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is we took those lemongrass stalks that we probably normally wouldn't use, and we used them for something, and that's going to benefit everybody.
Woo, recycling.
Besides the lemongrass. But waste not, want not, right? Right. Okay, so on to our shrimps. Now you can see how much color difference there is in these things. We flipped them. You can see how much color has been added to them. Check that out. Look at that. Now that's the way a shrimp should look, right? That's how you're used to seeing them in the restaurants and things like that, right? They look like that. They're not the gray color that we had before. And this is only taking about 5-6 minutes. All right? We got a couple that are a little underdone yet. We're going to pick through them, make sure all the done ones are taken out so they don't overcook. And we're going to leave some of the undone ones just a minute longer to cook in there because maybe they were in a cold spot in there. We've talked about that before. We'll get these out. We'll get things regrouped. And we will show you the last round. All right, guys, so we got everything all cooked up ahead of time. We're all ready to go to finish this dish off. So we pulled El Kabong off of the grill just to let it cool down for a minute. And we're gonna get it back on there to warm it up. We've got all our drippings and all our goodies from all the potatoes and the shrimp and everything we've cooked. Still got some butter left in there from that. We're gonna add just a little bit more of our avocado oil, just cause. So let's review, shall we? So what we've got is we've got all of our things that we've prepared ahead today. This is our chopped green onions and lemongrass that we're gonna add. Of course, our potatoes, the shrimp that we just did, our andouille sausage, and the corn on the cob. And we're also gonna add a few lemons to this just to make it taste good at the end. The one thing I didn't show you when we did the shrimp, and I apologize for not showing you that, but we did add some of our flavoring, some of our seasoning that we made earlier or before in the other video. We did add a little bit of that to the shrimp just to make it taste good. Yeah. So we're starting to get our fry going on, so we're going to start throwing everything back in again. So in go our potatoes. Corn on the cobs. Yeah. There they are.
Jeez.
Yeah, I told you, when I cook, even a 20-inch skillet is a little bit undersized, right? There's our andouille sausages. And of course, there's our shrimp. Yeah, we get ridiculous up in here, don't we? That's the way I like it, is ridiculous. All right, so we're gonna
look at that.
Yeah, we're gonna toss everything together. Get it all nice and mixed up so our juices and flavorings in there. Now, I think before I go any farther, one other thing I want to do is we're going to add just another shake of our seasoning. So the corn on the cob can pick up a little, the andouille sausage can pick up just a little. And everybody will get married and be happy in this dish together. Yeah. So I think we've got just enough heat on the bottom with our grill after we restocked it to get this dish finished. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That looks good, don't it? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to let this go on here for about probably 10 minutes or so just to make sure everything gets warmed back up again. Everything's happy, all the flavors are getting all together and married and happy, and just like we all do. Right? So, we're going to come back for our last segment when everything's cooked up and warmed up and ready to go. Let you know how it tastes, get everybody fed, and make everybody happy, because that's what this is all about. So one other thing we do have to do before we finish this dish off is we got to add our green onions, lemongrass, and we're going to add just a little more lemon juice. So we'll pull the cover off, and you can see that stuff's all sizzling down, cooking nice. So we're going to add our green onions. And that's a lot of green onion, but that's okay.
Lemongrass too.
We like the green onions, yeah. And down in the bottom of the bowl, believe it or not, is the lemongrass, okay? So take my word for it, it's in there. Or don't take my word for it, it's still in there. Oh, and then we're gonna add a little bit more lemon juice, just again, because lemon's good.
Put the lemon in lemon nut.
Put the lemon in the pan and make it go around again.
Nice shot.
Thanks. I played basketball once. No, I played for like 2 years. No, 4, whatever. I played for a while. Anyway, it's a lot of practice.
That one went flying.
That one went over the other wrong way. So there's our lemon juice. Alright.
Mascot's gotta be right there.
Mascot, are you in the way again? Yeah, you are. Alright. So, one more toss here, just to mix in all those extra goodies that we just added. And again, I've gone relatively light on the seasoning on this. And the reason I'm doing that is my mom is coming over to eat with us. Because for some reason she likes my cooking. I don't know why. But we invite her. And she's glutton for punishment maybe? I don't know. There we go. Look at that.
I think she's here.
Yeah? Now that looks fantastic, don't it? So we're going to put the cover on, let that rest or do its business for just a few more minutes. We'll get everybody set up at the table. We'll get it dished up. And we're going to eat.
Woo.
And make you jealous. So, things have been on here for about 10-15 minutes warming up. As you can see, everything's coming together nicely. The flavors are all going to be out of this world. It's going to be messy and it's going to taste amazing. So, we're going to spoon it out, or shovel it out, however you want to look at it, and get it ready to serve. We're just going to serve it right in the bowls. Everybody can take what they want, how much they want, fish out what they want, and have at it. Now, my brother and my mom are here to help us devour this food. Hopefully they like it. They should, because it's good, right? All right, there's one bowl. Man,
I need a third bowl.
Like I said, I asked my brother, I said, did you bring your extra stomach today? Because you're going to need it. Yeah, it's good for you, though. It'll be all right. You can always take some home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, we're going to wrap this. Well, there's always leftovers, right? Especially when I cook. Yeah?
Leftovers are the best.
Leftovers are the best. By the way, how'd you like that brisket? That was good stuff, wasn't it? Yeah, that was good stuff. So anyway, we're going to wrap this video up, showing you the last bits of what we're taking out.
We forget to do this a lot.
Yeah, well, you know, the thing is, again, like I've always said in all my videos, we don't do this to show off. We don't do this to show you how great of cooks we are. We do this to show you that a regular guy like me, with regular stuff like me, can take regular food that we buy at our local grocery store. A lot of times we buy it on discount because we like to save money. And you can make some pretty incredible food. It doesn't take a lot of work. It takes a little work. Yeah, there's work involved. You know, a little bit of practice. But I can tell you this much. Watching videos like ours and others, of course, there's a lot of better great cooks out there that can show you all kinds of things that I can't even dream of. But they can show you all the steps to do things. Hopefully we can give you a few pointers along the way that'll help you out. And we want to make sure that you have the confidence to make the foods that you want to make and enjoy the things that you want to enjoy. Thanks for joining us. Again, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you know when we're going to come up next with our videos. Thanks for joining us, everybody.